Hey y'all, Myra the Paranormal Chick here. So today we're going to discuss Bigfoot, the body not found. The $64,000 question always asked when posting a Bigfoot film is, how come bones have not been found? If he's real, she's real, how come there have been no bones? So we're going to deep dive into that. Before I get started, I wanted to let you know, anybody viewing this from TikTok, IG, or Twitter, you'll have to switch to my YouTube channel in order to view this full film. So just FYI, it will cut out after 30 seconds. Well, let's get into it. So the film first started off, my reel in the background, as you see, started off with the 3 skulls. I do want to shout out to bigfootcast.com. They actually created those skulls. They are not real, but it's an amazing rendition of what potentially a Bigfoot skull could look like and the massive size. So I wanted to show you that. But now let's get into why, part of the reason why I believe we are not finding Bigfoot bones. So the next few pictures in the reel, you see the great apes, mountain gorillas, leaning over what looks like to be corpses of other great apes. Now, what recently has been found, and I'm going to cite this article because I absolutely love this article. It was released by Daily Mail, and the author was Tim Collins. It was published around April of 2019. So, and credit goes out to the Dian Fossey Gorilla Fund. A team went out to observe some great apes out of Rwanda, and what they found was astonishing. They found that great apes and other chimpanzees mourn their dead. Let that sink in. The only other mammal out there that has been known to mourn their dead and bury their dead are humans. We have not found that in other animal species until 2019. So the first picture you see of a young gorilla mourning his mother, they said that he was even suckling at her breast, and they think he was doing that to try to stimulate some sort of action or movement from her, because he was already weaned from suckling, but he was mourning her. What they've also found in the second photo is the group of great apes around the older male that has passed, is they groom their dead, they lick, they touch, they stroke, and just they sit like in a mourning circle, and whatever time that they need, that's what they do. And it's been observed. It's actually been observed, and it's shocking because animals are not known to do that. We've always thought that they just disregarded their bodies and moved on. That's not the case. So I want to quote the actual researcher because I love what she found. Most notably, individuals in all 3 cases typically sat close to their corpse and stared at it. Let's see. I do want to mention that the reason for initially was not because they were looking to see if they mourned their dead. The team was out there because they were researching Ebola and the spreading of Ebola from primates into humans, and this is what they found. Hold on. I love, this is an amazing article. I'll have to tag it in my video line so that way you guys can take a look at it. So Dian Fossey Fund scientist, Dr. Amy Porter said, our observations were surprising because not only did almost all individuals in the gorilla group engage with the corpse of a silverback, their behavioral responses were strikingly similar to those of mountain gorillas around the corpse of established group members. And of course, most notably, individuals in all 3 cases typically sat close to the corpse and stared at it. They touched, licked, sniffed, and groomed the corpse. So it's now proven within the great apes, mountain gorillas, that they mourn their dead, that they feel the loss of their loved one, that they're more to them than just animals. Now let's get back to Bigfoot. So I wanted to bring that up because it's key. That's major, right? So we assume Bigfoot is a sentient being. We assume that he has the intelligence almost like human-like. Every encounter that's ever been witnessed by people have always stated that they seem very human-like. They have human features. They're, the intelligence that they display is very human-like. So the question about bones, if an animal identifies a human species as a threat, and they know that we tend to hunt and kill things we don't understand or that we're afraid of, our knee-jerk reaction is to kill it. And they know this by observing us and watching us, because that's another key thing that people have said, that when they encounter Bigfoots or when they feel like there's something in the area, they feel like they're being watched, they're being tracked, and typically they are. So if they see us as a threat, why would they leave the bones and the bodies of their dead around? If they are on the same intelligence, wavelength as humans, why wouldn't they bury it and bury them far enough away to where we would never find them? So that's just a thought. So in the next row, you see all the nests. Now, there's a couple things I want to talk about these nests. Again, this is just developing down the theory that we're dealing with an intelligent species. We know that great apes, primates, mourn their dead. That has recently been proven as of 2019, maybe earlier than that, but officially from the reports that I can find, it was 2019. Primates, great apes, some of them mourn their dead. Okay. Now we're dealing with a humanoid Bigfoot species. We think that's humanoid. We don't know what it is exactly. And now we're finding these nests. Also take a look at these nests. And I identified the location because I think that's key. Each location has a different type of nest. Like the Pennsylvania location was more of like the stick, let's see, you'll probably see it in the reel. It was like the stick teepee leaning up the branch type thing. I think that's key. And then when you switch over to the Ontario, again, it's a stick teepee, but it's not as much as a foliage, and it's leaning up almost like the teepee of these reported nests, and they're massive. And then you have your Kentucky. So I think these nests are built differently by each different group of Bigfoots and depending on the area that they're in, because they all look differently. They're all based on what they have available to them. The Kentucky nest, it was not as condensed with all the branches. It just had, just the teepee again, but not as many. So that kind of got my attention when I was putting these together. And then the Olympic Peninsula in Washington nests. Now we know that area is very mossy, it's very wet, it can be very humid. So their nests look way different compared to Canada or Kentucky or even Pennsylvania. It's more of like a hut type, but with more of the foliage. So I thought that was very interesting. And then we lead into the California, which is more of like, looks like a gorilla nest, what you see out in, the Congo or Rwanda and all of that, where you see those type, how they bed down. It's a massive nest. They're all different. So my question regarding that, maybe we have different species of Bigfoots throughout, the United States, Canada, the world. They're all different. We're dealing with a species that it's not all the same. So that leads me to believe that their height, the way they look, maybe even the way they act, may all be differently. That's just to get the wheels turning, get you thinking. So now we know that these Bigfoots, we know great apes mourn their dead. Bigfoots have been proven to have structures that they create and bed down in. And now we're going to get into Jane Goodall. So I had posted this on my TikTok in a response to somebody who stated the same thing, how come no bones have been found? And I believe Jane Goodall was the best response to it. And she had, and it's from Expedition Bigfoot, I believe season 3, in which Maria had interviewed with her, which I would love. I would love to be able to interview with Jane Goodall. That is once in a lifetime. That's amazing. Another woman that I love is Diane Fossey. If she was still alive today, I would love to be able to just to pick her brain, just to interact, just to watch her the way she was with her great apes. So, but that's just me personally. But Jane Goodall stated, we're dealing with an animal that has human-like intelligence. It displays human-like intelligence, has identified man as a threat. Then that leads us to believe that they would know then to bury their dead, to hide their dead from us, from the threat. It's not proven. We don't know. We can only theorize, we can only have hypotheses, but that to me is solid evidence. It just feels right. That's why I don't think we see their dead, and why we probably won't find their dead is because they know we are a threat. They know they have to hide it. And you know, there's so much out there that we still have to investigate, and we have to stop with wanting to shoot them right away and kill them. No, we need to study them in their environment, not in a lab. So I think that's amazing. I wrapped up the video with photos of a Bigfoot caught out in, I believe, South Carolina or North Carolina, one of the Carolinas. A gentleman was at the lake fishing, and he saw on the other side of the bank this Bigfoot. So there's sightings all over the country, into other countries. To say with a hard, cold conviction that there's no Bigfoot, there's nothing out there, no, there's just too much evidence. There's too much footage, whether it be real, hoax, or not. It's definitely something worth exploring. But tell me what you guys think. How do you feel about the explanation for the no bones found? I'm not saying this is all ironclad. This is just my case presented on why I think bones will not be found and are not found. So tell me what you think, and kudos to everybody out there who took the footage, those videos, the Diane Fossey team that went out and studied those great apes, because that's amazing. That's an amazing experience. But to be able to actually see great apes mourning their dead and you know, just it's groundbreaking. That's things that we thought we knew are changing and always changing. So keep an open mind, because you just never know. Let me know how you like it. Leave your likes, comments, posts. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. More of this will be coming. I'm still going to be doing my normal short videos and my TikTok videos, because I love those videos as well. And I will be branching off into other subjects such as dogmen, dragons, fairies, all the paranormal goodness. Other than that, thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe.